So
Right.
we went out and we made it 10 times easier, 10 times safer, 10 times less expensive, and infinitely more transparent so that now group investing is accessible for everybody.
Welcome to the Threefold Real Estate Investing Podcast. This is the podcast where you'll not only learn how you can achieve massive success in multifamily real estate investing, but also how you can simultaneously pursue great relationships with your family and a better walk with God. You can achieve financial freedom through real estate investing without sacrificing the relationships that mean the most to you. Now, here's your host, Lee Yoder.
Welcome back, Threefold listeners. I hope you're having a great summer so far. We've got another great guest joining us today. Repeat guest, great guy, local guy up in Columbus. Travis Smith of Tribevest is joining us. I've gotten to know Travis pretty well over the past couple of years and really excited about what he and his company are doing. And he and I have some mutual friends and whatnot. So really excited to have him back on. Just a little bit about Travis and then we'll bring him in. Learn more about him. But he is the founder and CEO of Tribevest, which is a platform that makes it easy and safe to invest as a group and do deals together in as little as 48 hours. He started his career with Morgan Stanley, but realized the most direct path to wealth and financial freedom wasn't through Wall Street or as an individual. He and his brothers realized that if they were going to change their family's financial trajectory, they'd need to work together. Enter Tribevest. Travis won't stop until every single deal on and off the internet is an opportunity for a multiplayer experience. He is building Tribevest so you don't always have to go it alone. Man, really well said. I love how you guys put that together, Travis. First of all, man, welcome to the show. So glad you decided to come back and join us again.
Lee, thanks for having me. Great to see you. Always great to connect with you. Feel very honored to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Travis. Yeah, honored to have you back on. Hey, so much to get into with Tribevest, what you guys have going on. You guys are always rolling out, new tools and new vehicles for people to use to get into this world of real estate, which is, I'm passionate about getting more people into it. I know you are too. And you see that it might be hard to get into it by yourself. But Travis, do you want to back us up a little bit? Maybe where did Tribevest come from? Maybe just a little bit of your backstory. What can you share with us maybe to get us started here?
We're a fintech company that's serving the real estate industry, and we're bringing out new solutions all the time. But if we were to think about where this all started, it did go back 15 years ago, long before the company Tribevest, or we started to build out this platform for group investing. And it was my brothers and I, we were on a fishing trip we couldn't afford. And there we were talking about how can we find financial freedom, and we wanted to invest in real estate. Anyway, you guys have probably heard the story before, but where it all ended was, listen, there wasn't a podcast like the good work you're doing out there, Lee. There was less communities out there to join. We just turned to each other and said, let's figure this out together. Let's form a multi-membered LLC. Open up a business bank account, start to pull some capital together, because that was our most obvious obstacle, our most obvious barrier. And we were doing $500 a month. Of course, then that was a big stretch for us. Between the four of us, that was $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. And we did our first syndication at the end of the year. And one investment led to another. And by forming and funding that investor tribe, we unlocked a future that none of us could have achieved on our own. So that was really the foundation and the origins of the whole thing.
Because Travis, when you heard about real estate, as so many do, because you said, you saw other people doing that, and you see like really wealthy people doing that. You hear about wealthy people doing that, Donald Trump, like they're on that, and you say, well, I want to do that. But you look and like, $500 a month is not going to get it done. You're not getting into a deal for $500 a month. Even you say that the whole year, 6,000, most syndications, the minimum is 25, but you get four guys, it's $24,000 a year. So in a year, just a great point, great illustration, a real tangible example as to how that works. Because I think so many people do that. They look and they go, well, I want to be like him. I want to be like her, but she can rip off $25,000 checks, $50,000 checks. I can't. So I guess I got to wait. And if you wait, you could be waiting a long time, right? To build up your own 25,000, your own 50 takes a long time, but you guys put it together. And now even quicker your money starts making money, so you can get to your own, and then even quicker you get to having your own 25,000, your own 50, but it gets you in the game a lot quicker. So you guys got started a lot quicker than you could have by yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It was the discipline.
Yeah,
It was
that's
the
good too.
spark.
Yeah,
What did we need? What did we need to get started? But when we started to,
yeah,
provide that discipline,
yeah.
putting in the capital, and it accelerated things. And then you're right. Once we did it as a tribe, then we started to realize, gosh, we could do this on our own.
So Travis, so that's you started seeing it yourself, and then, hey, this is great. I want to do this for more people. And now you guys have Tribevest. Just maybe a little bit about Tribevest and what you guys are doing for people. Because what you saw was you got 4 people in an LLC, but maybe there's some work to do around that. And just now, how Tribevest can make that so much easier.
Yeah, that's what we did. Is look, no one argues that we're better together. No one argues that you can accelerate and get into businesses or deals that you wouldn't have on your own. It's just numbers, right? It's just math. Of course, group investing makes a ton of sense. So that's just the fact. That's the truth. So the question became, well, why don't more people do it? And the truth is, it's hard. It's hard, and there's a lot of mystery. Do I need an attorney? What type of attorney? Do I need to file an LLC? What about an operating agreement? Where do I open up a business bank account? How do we open up a business bank account?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How do we make this easy to pull capital? What about keeping track of our ownership percentage? All these things, like anyone on their own, not a big deal, but you put them all together and they become non-starters. So we went out and we made it 10 times easier, 10 times safer, 10 times less expensive, and infinitely more transparent, so that now group investing is accessible for everybody. The country clubs have been doing it forever, right?
Yeah.
They have their attorney network. They have their advisors at the ready. They're all, they put these things together all the time and go out and invest together. Well, now, everybody can, right?
Yeah.
For a reasonable cost, and it's super accessible.
And it largely because the internet, like so many things, the internet makes that possible, because now people can all log in to a website. You don't have to pay a CPA and a controller and a bookkeeper and an attorney. You just, a fee to get Tribevest, and you're on the internet. Like you said, very transparent, because you guys are all on together. And essentially that's what that looks like. Travis said that everybody has a login. You log in together. You can all see what's going on. And Tribevest is handling a lot of that back end for you, and just the tracking of it, and you can visualize it all right there together.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and you hit it. It's like, well, why now? Why haven't more people been group investing? Well, again, the accessibility, technology, and our key is, look, we're a neutral third party and we're transparent. We're a neutral third party and we're transparent. And those are the keys to doing business with other people. And we think of like Uber, right, as a little bit of a big brother out in front of us. If you think about like when, the first time you heard of Uber, it was just a crazy idea, right?
Yeah.
It was like, what? I'm going to invite a stranger and jump in the backseat of their car and drive off? What? Like, no way. Well, it's just technology. Technology made it super safe and easy to transact with a perfect stranger and feel safe. And again, Tribevest is doing that now for group investing in real estate.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, Travis. Even before you start bringing up the Uber and jumping in the car with a stranger, I was thinking about that because I'm thinking of a group of people maybe at the local RIA, the RIA here in Cincinnati, and like they kind of know each other and they've been going to the same RIA meetups, and it's like, okay, all 4 of us really want to get in, but if I'm going to trust you to go get the OA, the operating agreement, written up for us, and I'm going to trust you to have the attorney and trust you to keep our books, like, I don't know you that well, but like you said, you guys are the third party that does that for us and houses that. Okay, well, I can trust a company, to do it, because it's not going to be this guy's buddy who's happens to be an attorney that's writing up the operating agreement. That might make it more favorable for him than it is for me, right? It's it's through you guys, and again, so much more transparent. It's all there, and now it's like, okay, well, I don't have to trust these guys that much. Like, we can get in this together because we're doing it through a company like Tribevest.
Well, you absolutely nailed it. And you touch on another thing. People ask us, well, are you doing matchmaking, helping people find other investors to group invest with? And the short answer is no, not really. We're really a utility. We're so focused on making sure you're setting this up, you're having an awesome experience, and you do it again and again. Where does the matchmaking happen? Well, of course, friends and family and colleagues are all great candidates. But you mentioned the meetup group there in Cincinnati, right? Like those communities are huge because those are people that are coming together at similar parts in their lives, similar stages in their life, and they're all looking to grow. So now all of a sudden, Tribevest, you introduce Tribevest, the platform, the utility to a community like that, and it becomes an awesome way for people to take action. Instead of man. Someday, this is great. Someday. And look, we all have that. But now, no, let's form a tribe and put some capital together and go out there and do a deal.
Yeah, right. Jump in. And that's the hardest thing is to get started. This just gives you, breaks down some of those barriers. You were talking about that earlier, Trevor. Just some of the reasons I might not get in. It's too messy. It's too clunky. There's attorneys and this gets rid of some of those. So you break down some of those barriers and you actually get in, because a lot of times the hardest thing to do is get started. But man, once you get started, you start building that momentum and you're so glad you did. So that's why I'm glad Tribevest there. Travis, if I've got a group of people, let's say, I'm going to my local RIA, I'm going to other meetups, and I've got some people and I think, okay, are we a good candidate? What are some things that you would say, hey, here's some things you need to form a successful tribe and have a good experience investing together as a group?
Yeah, great question. So just distinguishing between active real estate investing and passive investing as a LP. So absolutely, our platform is awesome for joint ventures, right? It's great. It brings that transparency, neutral third party. Again, if you're doing a joint venture, it's probably with one other person or two other people, and it just can be a great platform, right? I'm going to kind of set that aside. Right now, I'm going to talk about limited partners and what makes a great tribe and when would you use Tribevest. So I think the things that are needed, the elements, the variables that you need is one, you do need a champion. You need somebody that's out in front. And look, I think you either know you're one of these people or people in your circle that are these people and they're just who they are. But they're out learning. They're looking at this as a chance to to advance, to learn and grow. So they welcome this opportunity of taking the initiative.
They're the person that's they're most enthusiastic. They're most confident. They're trying to get everybody like, come on, we got to get in this deal. That's your champion, right? I mean, like you say, you can know who it is.
That's right. That's it. And you think before Tribevest, those people were all out there and these groups were all out there, but then it was like the reality of, okay.
How do we actually
going to do it? Right.
Yeah.
And so now you can pull up the app and do it. And so now we've empowered that champion to now, have a plan for the team or the members. And so you need a champion. And then you do need that community looking at these same deals anyway, right? Like, and say it's $50K to get in, right? And we all have $50K to get in. Then most likely you should all just invest individually. There's a tribe element in the community that, you're community financing the deal. Well, let's just say, hey, if I have $100,000 to get into any and all my deals for the year, I might want to break that up and see if I can diversify and get into more deals. I hate saying no to good deals. Yep. So I might put in 10K, 4 other people put in 10K, and we all reach the minimum and get to know a new asset class, get to know a new syndicator, get to know its new sponsor. It's a great way to kind of see if you're interested. So it's a really helpful thing when you're getting to a threshold that you want to get in with a tribe. A tribe is a great way to do it. Of course, you pull together and you write a single check of $50K into the syndication. So that's one app. That's one application. And I'll take a breath because we'll get to the other reason, which I call becoming a super LP.
Typically, there's you go to meet up, you've got some family, and you get the one person that says, "Guys, like I know this is a great thing to do. I know we should be getting involved in real estate. Maybe I even found a sponsor and they've got this great deal and they're buying that apartment building right over there, and like we can invest in it, but the minimum's $50,000 and none of us have $50,000. Or maybe, you were even saying, hey, maybe we all do and we could do it alone, but maybe a lot of times a sponsor might, and well, this, you're going to get into this. So we don't have $50,000. Let's invest, let's do it together because then we can get in. But you need those people and you need that platform. Now Tribevest does that. So you guys get in and it's transparent. It's right there. And so you've really opened the door for people to get in like that. And, it's what I love about Tribevest because you and I, and we're both part of Left Field Investors in Columbus. And, they have a similar philosophy. And the idea here, and I think, Travis, why you're doing what you're doing is we believe in real estate. Like you said, the guys at the country club have been doing this for years. It's time for the rest of us to be able to do it. And that's what this is. And so now the rest of us can get involved in this. You don't have to wait until you're a millionaire. This can help you become a millionaire. So get into it early and often through this. So really good. So anxious to hear about the next part you were going to get into, Travis.
And look, it's not just about hitting a minimum. As we all know, rightfully so, the GP, the syndicator, right, the sponsor, they make more money. Of course, they're taking on a lot more risk, right, and doing all the work. So that makes a ton of sense. Rightfully so. But sometimes, right, those sponsors will offer deals for bigger checks, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we think about that, it's like, I like this deal anyway. I like this deal anyway. And wait a minute, if I write a check for $500,000 or $1 million, I get better terms. I get preferred class of shares or whatever it might be.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. So that's why we say you go from a limited partner investor to a super limited investor partner because you're in the same deal, but now you're getting special terms of, the wealthy. And of course, well, how does that happen? Well, I was going to write a $50K check on my own anyway. Why don't I get together with 10 other people that like this deal already? We come together and now we're writing a $500,000 check and we all enjoy those preferred terms. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool, Trevor. Yeah, that's kind of like the next step. And hopefully, if you don't have 25 grand, you don't have 50 grand to get in a deal, do a Tribevest, or do a tribe through Tribevest, get into those deals. But then as you're growing, then you have your own 50, but hey, go do it again so you can level up to the next level. So it's still for everyone. And what you're talking about, Travis, for us at Threefold, we're going to raise funds and we might need to raise 2 million. Well, if somebody can come in with 500,000 or $1 million, just one check writer, that makes our job so much easier that it makes sense for me to incentivize that. So what you were talking about, Travis, what that might look like, we might offer a 6% preferred return and then a 60-40 split, equity split where the investors get 60%, we get 40%, but that's after we give them the 6% preferred return. If you said, well, hey, what if I bring $1 million? Man, you just made my job so much easier. You know what? I'm willing to give you a 7% return on that $1 million. And I'll give you a 70-30 split on that $1 million. So just like you were saying, Travis, like you might now be to the point where you're like, well, shoot, I can just jump in Lee's deal with 50K of my own money. Well, daggone, like I'm really confident that because a good deal means to me that you think the sponsor is going to do what they say they're going to do because most sponsors are telling you a good story. Most of them are going to do a 6, 7, 8% preferred return, then this big on the back end. Well, the good deals are the ones you think they're actually going to perform. So if you think, well, I think this guy's actually going to perform. So I'm cool with the 6% preferred return and the 60-40 split because that's going to be a really good return. But shoot, if I just have to go tell other people about it and again, you're going to your family, you're going to friends, other people that you'd like to see grow their wealth. And now you bring them in and I get to get this deal. But now Lee's deal gets even sweeter at a 7% preferred return and a 70-30 split. That's just, man, that's almost too good to be true, Travis. That makes so much sense. Why would you not try to do that if you could?
Right. It makes a ton of sense. You hit on two things there. First, like number one, guys, listeners, please, like this, you're listening to the inside baseball here.
Sure.
Not that Lee is, not transparent anyway, but I think as a limited partner investor, you want to learn how these things work. And Lee just broke it down. He said, look, if Lee wanted or could, he wouldn't have a minimum, right? But guess what? Like every check that he gets, there's an administrative burden that comes with it. And I know it's kind of hard to understand, but there really is. So instead of getting 10 additional investors where he has to do distributions, communications. He's talking to, each of those individuals, has a relationship with each of those individuals, and sending out the K-1s and taxes. It's, that's a lot. And with each new investor, you have that. So he's thinking, wow, not only did my fundraise just get cut in half, that I was raising 2 million, now I have to raise 1 million, which is huge in terms of time and, everything that goes into it. But on the back end, he's also thinking, I don't have to hire another admin or, me, instead of working on making this deal as profitable as possible, I'm working on these admin things. So you're getting the inside scoop here on like, hey, probably any deal out there, if you had this network, you could say, hey, sponsor, I love building this relationship. What if I did this? And it's worth asking. And because now, after listening to this conversation, you can kind of understand, why would a sponsor give me a better deal if I was coming with a single bigger check? Yeah. And so anyway, I thought this was an awesome kind of exchange for your listeners to get that kind of understanding of why that opportunity, why is there this opportunity to become a super limited partner? And the best thing about a super limited partner is you're still a limited partner.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Nothing changes. Nothing really changes for you as the investor, Travis, except you're getting better terms. And now, again, back to our, the previous point of why Tribevest came into being. Like, you could say, well, but man, that's just going to get messy. Like, is man, we got to bring in attorneys. We got to do this stuff. Like, it's going to get so messy. Is getting messy worth 1% more in the preferred return and a little bit more on the back end? Well, maybe not. But again, if Tribevest is going to make it easy for me, well, then yeah, sure. Now it is worth it. And that's the beauty of the Tribevest, that you guys make it 10 times easier, 10 times more efficient, 10 times more transparent, so that it does make it worth it for me to bring other people in and do it as a group.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what we do. Like, there's always that, well, the reward is awesome, but like, I got to weigh that against the effort and the cost. Right. And so you mentioned, look, we do make it 10 times easier, but as we've learned, it still isn't easy, right? You still need a champion. And so what we're talking about right here is what we call is a Tribevest Pro Tribe, and it has extra services wrapped on it. So when I said we made it 10 times easier, that's true and amazing. But in our kind of traditional tribe, you're still responsible for doing the distributions. You're still responsible for, finding the accountant and do the K-1s for the members, right? And so what we're so excited about at Tribevest is what we've been talking about, the super LP model, is we call it our Tribevest Pro. And we've wrapped these services around it. So we'll actually do those distributions for you. So when Lee writes that check into the tribe, we'll distribute it to all the members. Right? Yeah. When Lee sends the 1K1 to that tribe entity, the tax document, we'll send the K1 based on everybody's ownership in that entity. Each person will get their K1. Again, like pointing out, that was 10 more K1s Lee didn't have to do. That was 10 less distributions Lee had to do. And so anyway, now it's not just 10 times easier. We can go ahead and say, nope, we've made it easy. So we do make it no brainer. Yeah. Is it worth that extra 1%? Yeah, with Tribevest it is.
Yeah. Well, and now you can kind of justify Tribevest, because I mean, there's extra cost there. You got to pay, there's extra cost with Tribevest, but now you can say, yeah, but that extra upside, that extra preferred return, that's going to pay for this. And now, like you said, now it gets easy. And so a lot of people in that situation say, well, I'll get my extra return from Lee and I'll give a little bit of it to Tribevest, because now it's actually going to be easy. Because what you were just saying there, Travis, back to our example, if someone says, well, I've got 50, I could just invest with Lee myself, but why don't I bring in 9 other people and now all 10 of us can invest 500,000. Lee's going to give us a 7% preferred return instead of 6. He's going to give us 70-30 on the back end instead of 60-40. But with those 10 people, when I send them one check, somebody has to go into Tribevest and distribute it, 10 ways. In tax time, somebody has to call up a CPA and go, hey, here's all our documents from Tribevest and here's what we've done, but can you do this and we'll pay you and you send out 10K1s. What you're saying, Travis, is if if those 10 people give up a little bit of the extra upside that I'm giving them and give that to Tribevest to become a pro, then you guys do all that extra stuff for them. Make it really easy.
That's right. And that's the new service. And it's more it's a whole new pricing. So it's $150 per member per year. So
still pretty small.
And that, again, that includes the K1, includes the distributions, includes the cap table management, includes all those things, the distribution of the communications. So your communications go out to your investors, Lee, and we distribute it to all the investors. We keep all those communications in their dashboard. So for $150, it's you'll do the math. You'll figure out.
I was just gonna say, the easy 1% on 50,000 would be $500 a year. So already you're $350 ahead, even if I give you guys 150, but that doesn't include any of the upside. We're going to give you a 70-30 split. So we're giving you as the investor 70%, keeping 30 versus 60-40. So, I mean, it's going to take off from there. Financially and mathematically, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, that's one of those things where you kind of pencil it out and you say, no, this is worth it or it's not.
Yeah.
So
well, Travis,
cool.
This is so good, man. I love how you guys, I mean, you truly jumped in, Travis, and I've been in some of the same networks as you. And what I can tell that you guys are doing is you're right in there with, and you started this way, you're a passive investor. You invest in, syndications yourself. And now you're surrounding yourself around a bunch of people, the passive investors, also some sponsors like myself. And you guys are just hearing okay, you're hearing from us saying, you've definitely made it way easier. This is awesome, Travis. Still not easy. What about this? And what about this? And you guys just keep answering the call and keep adding more products. It's really exciting. And so thanks for coming on and sharing that. I always like to ask my guests, Travis, and you're kind of uniquely qualified to answer this, maybe in a little bit different way, but I always like to ask, what's the key ingredient to being a successful real estate investor? So maybe just from what you've seen, Travis, what's the key ingredient to being a successful passive investor, and maybe one that would like to do it in a group? What's maybe something you need to have if you're going to make that work?
Yeah. I think the way I'm looking at that right now, especially in this market, it's discipline. Don't get distracted by the shiny. Don't get caught up with the herd. Stay disciplined. And that's the key. That's the key. And for me, the tool, the utility for me to stay disciplined is my tribe. I think about, we've been through a couple cycles now, and I actually look at how I've invested as an individual, and then I look how I've invested as a tribe. And hands down, way better as a tribe because of the discipline that came with it. Yeah. So anyway, that's key, Lee, as you know.
No, for sure. No, it's really good. Yeah, I was just saying when you were talking about it, when we first got this interview started, and just talking about doing it with your brothers and doing it with other people, it's just building accountability partners. You and your brothers, it was you're going to make sure you save that $500 because your brothers are doing it. If you're the only one, it's well, guys, we were supposed to put together $2,000 this month, but Travis decided not to save $500 and was too loose with his money, so we only came up with $1,500. Then that's awesome. I love that, and so that accountability, that discipline that a group helps. It's awesome. Really good. Wait, Travis, I know you're a family man, a man of faith like me. What would you say is a key ingredient from your experience? Maybe this is just for you personally. To being, while being a successful real estate investor, for you, you're also, a big business owner now. Owner of an operator of a fintech company. What's the key ingredient for maintaining your priorities? How are you making sure you're, pursuing the things in life that really matter while chasing this, business and real estate success, stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I love this question because I think if you hear me answer sometimes of what we're doing, you'll hear me say we're building $1 billion business, and we're in it to change the world, put a dent in the universe, and impact as many lives as possible, helping people reach their American dream. And so we have a lot of purpose, but there's no way we do that without our faith and our belief and our values that we hold dear. Yeah. And so for me, it's about every day saying, how can I be more Christ-like? And it helps me through every tough decision throughout the day. And so that's a little bit of kind of my thinking in terms of leadership being a servant leader. And when we take care of each other, good things happen.
Yeah. You need that greater calling, Travis, when you're going through the difficult times, and that greater purpose to feel that confidence that I'm still on the right path because this is what the Lord has called me to. And it's something greater than all these hurdles and all this stuff. I mean, because if it was just, if you were just doing it for the money, for the numbers, for the success in and of itself, well, when you don't have that, then what, right? Like when things don't go well and when you're not seeing the financial success or you're not seeing the growth, well, then you're just going to say, well, then it's not working or it's not worth it because I was doing it for that. But when you have a greater calling as you do, and as I do, then that stuff doesn't matter. Like you keep pushing because it's something greater than that you're called to, right? And so it allows you to keep pushing through, even through the hard times.
That's everything. That's everything. Because there's a million reasons why you should quit. There's a million reasons why to, go a different direction. But none of those matter. Like those you just push on because there's a bigger purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so good. Well, Travis, this has been awesome. I know just Tribevest.com, that's the website. But if what you were kind of talking about there at the end that people might be interested in is the pro membership, and they can just go to Tribevest.com/pro to get there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Go there and or just put on the chat that you're interested. Truth be told, we're rolling out our new website and talking more directly about pro and all those things. So if you're having a hard time learning more about that, please, just chat, send an email, and we'll talk to you about how and where to do this.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Travis. I mean, what you guys are offering the world in a way of getting people into investing in real estate earlier, man, it's so powerful because I'm such a believer in that. I know when I read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad and started going down this rabbit hole, I'm like, why did nobody tell me about this? But then, for so many people, even when they learn about it, it's like, but I still can't get in. And this is a way for people to get in. And like we talked about with the, the pro membership and stepping it up a notch, even from that. And like, even once I get in, man, this still levels me up. And now I maybe feel like I'm investing like a wealthy person because I'm getting those same splits from the sponsor that the wealthy people are getting. It's really good stuff. I appreciate what you guys are doing, Travis. We'll put all your stuff in the show notes and send people your way. Hey, almost forgot before I let you go. How might my listeners and I be praying for you in the coming weeks?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Just appreciate you and your community. I think last time I was on, my dad wasn't doing well, and he recently passed. So just any prayers for my family and my stepmom and my brothers. Really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yep. I know it was a hard time, and you and I were communicating during that time. It's really tough, man, losing somebody so close. But so be happy to pray for you and your family, Travis. But again, man, thanks so much for coming on. This has been a real treat. Really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you again soon, man.
All right, Lee. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you for joining us for another great episode. I hope you'll take action on what you've learned today. If you enjoyed today's show, please consider leaving Lee a 5-star rating and review. And check him out on threefoldrei.com. Until next time, 1 Timothy 6:17.